Yeah, we're really excited to have you all on here and to be hanging out with three pretty amazing young people and golfers, and I'm excited to chat with them. So, the Romero siblings, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves here in a second, but they are all on this Instagram Live because they were all Youth on Course members. And we were talking earlier for almost 10 years for everybody, right? Isn't that right? Yeah, 10 years, which is crazy. And I think two of you are technically alumni now, or just you, Kalia?
Yeah, I'm 20, so I'm done.
Okay, done. All right. So you're the alum, and then Kyrese and Kiara are technically still with their membership, still going until they're 19. So all three of you are also YOC athletes, which we'll talk about as well, which is super exciting. But thank you for being here. I know you guys have busy schedules and practice, and it looks like you're all three in different places. So I want to know kind of what you're up to, but yeah, we're gonna have you guys introduce yourself. Who did we want to go first?
Let's go youngest to oldest.
Oh, youngest to oldest.
Okay, I'm Kiara Romero. I've been a YLC member since I was 6 years old, and yeah, I still am a YLC member.
And where are you currently?
I'm at the grandparents' house in Santa Rosa.
Nice.
Awesome.
Next.
I'm Kyrese. I started being a YLC member when I was 8, and I still use it today. I used it last week to go play practice round for a tournament. And I'm at our house in San Jose.
Last but not least, the oldest.
I'm Kalia. I'm 20, also Youth on Course member for 10 years. I'm at Pepperdine right now. I just got back from a tournament late last night. Just been catching up on school the whole day. Yep.
Well, I wanted to start out with a very important question. I think this is going to be my favorite question of the night. So, who is the most competitive Romero sibling, and why?
Honestly, I want to say, like, we're all really competitive, but, like, when we're playing against each other, I feel like it's Kyrese. It's definitely Kyrese.
They take their level.
Do you agree with that, Kyrese?
Yeah, I'd probably take it the most serious.
So when you
can't let his sisters beat him, you know?
Yeah.
So when you were, like, growing up and you guys started playing golf, would you guys play, like, fun games with one another? Would you what did that look like? What was an average?
We played every day with Youth on Course, and then if it was just us three, we would always play like some kind of match against each other, or like a skins game, or just like see who would shoot the lowest on like 9 or something. But we also like had a lot of friends on Youth on Course, and so we would all go out. We'd maybe have like a couple groups play like a team game and just kind of compete against each other. And yeah, every day we were always competing for something like random. I don't know, like who gets to pick dinner, or like some kind of dare bet. But yeah, that was like an everyday thing for us.
And so for Kyrese, obviously being as the brother and in the middle, what was it like competing against your sisters growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I can't let them win. I can't let them beat me. So that's probably why they say I'm the most competitive. I'm always trying the hardest to not let them win.
Yeah, and Kiara, you're the youngest. Did you feel like an urge to always beat up on your older siblings?
Yeah, it was always fun to be chasing them and trying to beat them, with them always like hitting it farther and being the best, you know. They have more experience and stuff, so I just always wanted to beat them.
That's awesome.
So you guys have been members for a decade, and some of you were quite young when you first joined. How did you first hear about Youth on Course? How did you get started in the program?
So we were all the same age. We started practicing at Santa Teresa, and then we joined like their junior program. And then when we signed up with their junior program, it like automatically signed you up for Youth on Course. So yeah, we had that benefit. So we used that every day because we didn't really practice growing up. We just mostly played to get that was like our way of getting better. we played every day. So yeah, that was pretty much it.
That's awesome. So when did you feel like you started playing for fun at Santa Teresa?
Yeah.
For each of you, ask or answer, what when did you realize like, hey, I'm pretty good at this. I kind of want to take it to the next level.
I think for me it was like the end of maybe like 6th grade or something, because I played baseball with Kyrie for a long time, but then I like realized like, yeah, I don't really like, I'm way too small for this, like I can't play for like much longer. And like golf I was actually like pretty good at, and we like loved playing every day, and like tournaments were like so fun, and like it was just something that I liked to do a lot, and so I started to focus on that. And then it just like continued to grow. Like I started playing better tournaments and getting into like AJGA and then traveling more, and I just like learned to like love all of that, and just yeah, how like yeah.
You guys were growing up, obviously youth on course was a big part of your childhood, but you obviously were into other things. I know Kyrie's, your story is pretty interesting. Like I know with baseball specifically, I think when we first talked, but talk to me about how, like, what are some of the other things that you were involved with aside from youth on course, and how did you balance all of it?
Yeah, so I played baseball. Baseball was probably I would say my main sport up until COVID. It was mostly baseball first, and then like if I had time, I'd go play golf with my siblings or something. Or like in the baseball off season, I would play golf, practice a little bit, and then play a few tournaments. But yeah, once COVID hit, I stopped playing baseball, and then that's when I started taking golf seriously. I started playing every day, practicing every day, and then that's when I realized that's what I'm going to be doing moving forward.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How about for you, Kiara? What about you and your experience?
So when Kalia started playing AJGAs, I'd just like see her go and play and like have so much fun and really enjoy competing, and then I'd be like, oh, I want to do that, and then she like go wins one, and then I'm just like, oh yeah, I want to try to go win one. So yeah, I just kind of follow her footsteps.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Did you know that? Did you know that, Kalia, that was
No,
right there?
no, I did not.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, so when you guys were doing this and traveling and playing golf, like what were some of the things that were really, like what were some of those special moments for you guys as a family? Like do you have specific memories of playing golf together, like, or traveling and your parents? Like did you have like memories that really stood out to you?
I have one really good memory of a tournament I played when I was like 12 or 13. My dad made a bet with me. He was like, you know, if you get top 5 at this tournament, you'll get a dog. And I was like, okay, cool. I didn't really think it was going to happen, but on the last hole, I made a birdie to sneak into top 5, and then that's how we got our dog, Kona.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That's awesome. And did you name the dog Birdie or
Kona?
Oh, nice.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great. So I have all these questions because we thank you to the people that submitted questions early. That was very cool. I know a lot of people were really curious. Obviously, you three are YOC athletes, which all means you are high-level high school and collegiate athletes and are pursuing golf at the next level. Talk to me a little bit, and kind of each of you has a different experience, but maybe share a little bit about your recruiting journey and how you got to the college level. And I think obviously your youth on course membership helped you get there. But take us through a little bit, kind of how you ended up playing college golf and what that looks like for you all.
I got recruited basically kind of like when you start playing AJGA, like that's when you start to see like a bunch of college coaches out at events like following you. And then I just started like emailing a bunch of schools and seeing like just like who would reply. I wasn't really like looking at like where. I was just like, oh, who's like interested.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started playing like a lot better and started to see like, okay, like I can kind of choose like the top 5 that I want to go to and like kind of focus on. And like I knew that I wanted to stay in California, and so I just visited a bunch of schools there, and yeah, it kind of got me where I am today.
That's awesome. Tyrese, how about you?
Yeah, so once baseball stopped, that's when I started taking it seriously. I started emailing coaches. I started playing AJGAs. Did well in a few events, and that got the interest of a few coaches. Went on a couple visits, and yeah.
Did you so you mentioned this earlier that COVID kind of impacted your golf journey a little bit, and was that because baseball seasons were canceled, or just because you felt like you could get golf more because of COVID?
Yeah, so baseball, it's obviously not a very distant, like social distancing sport. Like you're really close together. It's pretty dirty in a dugout. So yeah, baseball was shut down for a couple months, and then we were able to go play golf still. So yeah.
That's awesome. And Kiara, how about you?
So I think I was like 15 when I made the decision to move up a class. I was originally a 2024, and then like a few weeks before those 2023s were allowed to start talking to coaches, that's when I decided to move up, and then I started grinding on that schoolwork and getting ahead, and yeah, that's when my journey with college started.
Great. We did have a question. Someone just asked kind of before I asked that previous question, what, I think it was like how many hours?
Yeah, they asked how many hours a day did you practice when you were high school age, between like 12 and 15?
We would practice, like I think we would get out of school around like 2 or 3 ish, and we would go straight to the golf course. This was like every day, and then we would play until dark.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say, like, I mean, obviously during the winters when it gets dark at like 5 or 6, we were only out there for maybe 3 hours, but during the summers and like the springtime, we would be there from maybe like 2 to 8. Like we'd play till dark every day.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, we didn't really practice much, like have set practices, or like during the week we would just go out, play 18 or play as many holes as we could, and that's kind of the way we all learned how to play and how to get better.
I'm really glad you asked that. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Clea.
There was obviously days where we were like, okay, today we're just gonna putt or something, and we would go like to a putting green and spend a few hours there playing putting games with each other, doing drills and all that. But yeah, for the most part, it was playing.
I was ask. I'm glad you said that, Kyrese, because I think a lot of people ask players at your level, like, what do you do to practice? What do you do to get better? And oftentimes, you know, we heard it just now from you, but we also hear you have to get out on the course and play. And that's why we're so, of course, about getting kids out onto the course, playing rounds, not just going to the driving range. That's great too. Putting practice, great, but you learn so much about the game and improve your game out on the course. So I just wanted to ask you guys, like, why do you think it is so important to actually get out on the course and play around?
I think it's because, like, you only know how good you are when you're practicing. Like, you're hitting the same shot or you're working on different shots. But when you go out and play, that's when you realize, like, okay, I need to work on this. I'm not chipping well, I'm not putting well, or I'm not hitting fairways. That's when you know, like, what you need to go and practice on. So I would say it's sort of like a test for you when you go out and play. And it's like instant feedback on what you need to work on.
Yeah, and also when you're out playing, you learn things that only a golf course can teach you. I mean, there's like course management, and then there's also like the competitive and mental side of it too. And yeah.
Yeah, and I was also thinking, like, golf is like the main goal is to go low, score as best as you can, and like the only way to do that is to go play holes and see how low you can go, and just hitting on range kind of doesn't get that for like give you that.
Do you want to ask that question?
Sure, yeah. Thanks, whoever just submitted that question.
I can't keep up.
I think it was a youth on course parent or a prospective parent who has, I think, twin boys who are 6 or
6.
And they wanted to ask you guys tips for keeping golf fun for a 6-year-old. Like when kids are that small, how do you guys, from your perspective, think as a parent people can get their kids to enjoy golf?
I would say if, like, I don't know, we met a lot of friends at the golf course, and just like playing with them made it so much fun, and like having little games, maybe if they had siblings to like play with each other all the time, and just find like a little group that you could go out with every day and just go play some games or something.
Do you guys have any drills when you were, I'm not a golfer. I'm trying to be, but I'm not one. So did you guys have specific drills when you were that young, or like, you know, let's just call it like 6 to 8, 6 to 9 that you remember that helped you like stay engaged with the game?
Drills? I remember we would like try and make 100 3-footers in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did that all the time. Like we couldn't like move on, go chip or hit balls or go play until we made those 100 3-footers.
That's awesome. Ooh, I like this question. Sorry, we have like all these questions coming in, and I'm old, so I have to sit close to read them.
Too. You do that one all the
Okay. This question is, what type of routine goes on pre-round?
We're talking like practice round or like a tournament round?
Pre-round routine, I think, like for a tournament.
Yeah, let's go tournament. I feel like that's really where we're gonna get to know you guys before your tournament.
Go ahead, Kiara.
Okay. Okay, well, I would start with, before you get to the course, I would always do like a quick like 15 to 20-minute workout, maybe just like run on the treadmill or a bike or something. And then when you get to the course, I always start with the range. I always like to do some small wedge shots and then work my way up to the driver. And then after that, I'll do some chip shots around the chipping green and then back to the putting green and do like, I'll try to do like about 50 3-footers because those are really important. And then after that, we'll do some lag putting and that's it.
Very cool.
For me, mine honestly kind of changes a lot. But recently I've been putting first, and like I go to the putting green and kind of just get the speed down. And then once I feel like I've got the speed of the greens down, then I go to the range, start with like wedge shots, and then work my way up, hit a couple drives, and then whatever I'm going to use on the first tee, that's what I finish with. And then go chip a couple just to get like feel the greens and like how much they're bouncing and all that, and then finish with some short putts. Like I start with 3-footers, make like 10 in a row, and then go to 10-footers, make like a couple in a row, and then go back to like 30-footers, and then I'm out off the tee box.
Nice.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty similar for me as well. Start with putting and then go to the range, my way through the bag, and then probably spend around 20, 25 minutes chipping, getting wedge shots. That's really important for me to get my confidence going with the wedge. And then I work my way back to the putting green, finish up some shorter putts.
All right, any of you routine is one thing, and I we were both college athletes, different sports, but routine is one thing. But like, are any of you superstitious? Like, you have to put one shoe on, and then that live in golf? I know it was like a big thing for me. I'm gonna just say it publicly, but do you guys have that? Are there any things that you like? I have to do this.
I same coin, the same every time. That has to be in my pocket.
Okay.
For me, I have to, when I mark my ball with a Sharpie, it has to be the same color as my shirt I'm wearing.
Oh,
That.
good to know. Kalia's face.
Yeah, I used to only eat spaghetti before rounds. Then when I got to college, I realized I can't do that because I can't find spaghetti all the time.
That's pretty funny that you realize that when you got to college. That's pretty funny.
We had a question come through a minute ago about ways to find a coach.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any insight into, I assume this question doesn't mean like a collegiate coach for junior golfers wanting to compete. How would you, what advice would you give to help someone find a coach?
Well, Kiara and I have worked with our coach since maybe like 6 or 7 years, maybe more. Because when we were young, we didn't have a coach. We actually didn't have a coach until I was like 15. Well, Kiara, you didn't work with a coach until
I think I was 13 or 12.
13 or yeah. So like in the beginning, we were all just like kind of learning what to do on our own. But then we reached a point where we're like, okay, we need like actual help now. And I think our mom found our coach for us. And like we like liked how he wasn't super mechanical and like didn't try and change anything of our swing, just like kind of just helped us, I don't know, like tune everything together, like small, like maybe like setup changes or anything, but no like big fundamental swing changes, because we were already like pretty good then, and we just needed like little tips to just continue to get better.
I'm sorry?
How about with you with coaching? What was your experience? Was it different?
Yeah. I didn't start taking lessons till I was probably 14, 15 maybe. And then I just worked with a guy who a lot of my buddies worked with, who said was pretty good. He coaches at the course we're members at now, so that was really ideal. Yeah, and I've just been seeing it ever since. I really like how he keeps it simple. He doesn't try to change too much.
Yeah, I'm sure that's really important, especially in golf.
Yeah.
Did I see another question?
Yeah. Why do you think that golf is important for kids? And maybe not, you know, whether they want to end up at a Division I college playing golf, or if they just want to play for fun. Why do you think golf is a great sport for young people to play?
It teaches a lot of lessons, I think. You learn a lot about yourself playing golf. You learn how mentally tough you are. You learn a lot about your temper. Golf can be challenging. And yeah,
it definitely teaches you patience. And like honestly, I learned from like a young age that like you can't just like give up when it starts going bad, because you don't know when it's gonna like switch. Like I've gotten like quads and then followed it with like birdies and eagles, and you never know like when you're playing good and it just turns to bad, and it kind of just teaches you a lot of patience.
Mm-hmm. Yara, what do you think?
Yeah, I think golf is really important, and it's like such a mental game out there. It teaches you how to be mentally tough, and that the most important thing is that you're confident out there with whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah, as I'm learning to play golf in my 30s, I'm trying to learn how to be patient and confident, and it's a lot harder. So really awesome that you guys are have gotten such an early start on that. We have like a few more minutes, and we have a few more questions. They're kind of like fun kind of questions, I guess. But one of them is, what's something you always have in your golf bag? Like, what is something that you like, it's a must, aside from your clubs and like the basics, but like what is something that you always have to have in your golf bag?
Cara's got a good one for that.
Oh no.
Ever since I was, I think, 7 years old, I've had a horseshoe in my bag.
Like a real one?
Yeah, a real one.
What's the story behind the horseshoe?
I just like really love horses, and like ever since I was like probably like 5 years old, I just always adored them, and so I just put one in my golf bag. And then the first time I did, it like turned out to be a great round for me, so I just kept it in there.
Oh my gosh.
Love it. There's a sign of good luck too. So
yeah.
What was that question?
Tyrese, Kalia, what about you guys?
I have my head cover is a polar bear that I've used since I was probably like 9 or 10 or 11, and it's missing an eye and it's not coming off, and the fish kind of exploded, but it's still there.
That's awesome.
Is there a story? Like, did it bring you luck one time, or was it a gift?
One of my like best friends growing up, we golfed together all the time, and she got it for me for my birthday, I think, and like I don't know, I just put it on and it's been with me forever, and yeah.
Love it.
Tyrese, you got anything?
I really don't. It's just a big bag.
I would have always have like some of you or all of you always have to have snacks in your golf bag, right? Isn't that like a must?
Yeah, Kiara eats like 6 bananas a round, I think, like that.
too. It was that bad before. Like, it'd be 6 bananas, but now it's just 2 or 3.
Oh,
I think at some point we all had 6 bananas around.
Yeah.
It was weird. Yeah, now we're down to 2 or 3.
We did have a question from somebody that just came up, like any advice you have on getting recruited or getting more exposure if playing college golf is something. Any of you have any advice for somebody who's looking to kind of play at the next level?
They play as much nationally as you can around the country. Travel, go as far as you can to visit places you like, maybe schools you want to see. Send out as many emails as you can. Like, you can send out too many emails. I mean, just every school you have interest in, send an email.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just try to schedule tournaments around those schools and play nationally. That's it.
Yeah, I think it's just all about playing. Go play tournaments, email them, and honestly, I feel like for us, they'll come find you if you're playing well enough.
Did you find when you were traveling, like, I know some people have said that when traveling, like going to look for schools, they would look for youth on course, like course partners, and like go play those courses, and like, you know, Minnesota or New Mexico, like they would go find a course and like did you guys ever have that experience where you were somewhere random and you're like, oh, I can play here for $5?
Yeah, for sure.
Them to a tournament and like that I wasn't playing, it was like a girls tournament or something. I would just go use like the youth on course map thing and then go find a course nearby and go play while they're playing their tournament.
That's awesome. Okay, I have one last question, and then I don't know if you do, but
I have one more.
Okay. If you could play one round with anyone in the world, living or not, who would it be and why?
I feel like it just has to be Woods. Like, if you don't include Tiger, then it'd probably be a different answer, but it just has to be Tiger Woods.
I took Tiger out, who would it be?
I'd want to play with Steph Curry.
And why?
I don't know. I just think he's really cool, and then he's into golf, and he's actually like started like a junior golf tournament thing, and I don't know. I think he's cool.
I think for me, it'd be Nelly Korda. I think she's just the best LPGA golfer out there, and I just really want to learn from her.
How about you, Paris?
I would go J.R. Smith. I love how after basketball, he went back and played, I think, D2 college and college golf, and like, yeah, he really loves golf now.
Those are all.
He's like a cool guy to play with.
Okay, inverse question. So there's 3 of you. Who would be like the ultimate 4th person for your foursome if you're gonna go out and play around? Who's gonna have the honor to play with the Romero siblings as the 4th?
Woods.
Let's tag.
Yeah, tag him.
We'll see what we can do.
Well, not to put you on the spot here, and we're almost done. I know you're all exceptional golfers. I guess I'm going to start with Kalia. Like, what do you admire or respect the most about your siblings' games, respectively? Like, what about their golf games do you like? You're like, that's Kyrice's thing. Like, I really like that about his game, and same thing with Kiara. And then same question for you 2 younger ones.
With Kiara, she's always mentally tough. Like, she always looks so like focused, like just like nothing can faze her. She's just like knows what she wants to do. Sometimes I'm kind of like, I don't know what's going on, but Kiara's never like that. She's always like. And then Kyrice's driver. I've been watching him like recently, and like he hits it so far, but also so straight, and that's like I hit it far, but sometimes not very straight, and I'm just trying to be like Kyrice sometimes.
How about you, Kyrice? Your sisters?
Yeah, Kiara, she's like a bulldog, man. She's locked in, never got the best focus out of all of us. She's on it. Like, you can't break her focus in a tournament. So that's why she's so good at match play. So I'd take her mentality. Kalia. really good at putting and hits it far for a girl.
Really good at putting and hits it far.
Yeah.
All right. Kiara, last but not least.
All right. For Kalia, it doesn't matter how much trouble she's in, she could find a way to get par. Like, she'd be behind a tree, I'll get birdie. It's crazy. Put me behind a tree, I'm getting double. It's crazy. Yeah. For his driver, he just hits it so far, like in the 300s, and it's just always so straight, which is pretty crazy for guys. They're usually the ones that are all over the place.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think Kyrie's echoed Kiara's sentiment about you getting yourself out of things, Clea. So I think that's
Anyone who's ever watched me has probably seen it. Yeah. I don't know how, but yeah.
it's a good trait to have. I mean, truthfully, right?
All-
We're about to end here. I want to end with, we have some parents watching this and some younger members and maybe some people who haven't joined Youth on Course yet or, don't know anything about us, from each of you, from your perspective, what's the point? Why has been that was a tough sentence to say. Why is being a Youth on Course member so important, or why was it so important to you, Kalia, as an alum, and why would people want to sign up for it?
Honestly, it's all about opportunity. Like, Youth on Course gave us the opportunity to play every day, which opened a lot of other opportunities for us to play. Like, we got so good from that, and we played like really high national tournaments. Like, Kiara and I have played AJJ invitationals and all that stuff, and we've gone to college with it, and it's all because like we had the opportunity to play every day. And if you're not a Youth on Course member, you might not have that opportunity. And like, you get to go to different courses. It's not the same one over and over again. Like, if you're a member at a country club or something like that, with Youth on Course, you can play so many courses. Kind of like where we went to Pebble Beach so many times, like to play what was it, Spanish? Like, just to play 9 holes out there or until the sun goes down. It's beautiful, and just those kind of experiences are like stuff we're never gonna forget. And like, to do it together is amazing.
Kiara, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, I would say it keeps the game fun. It kept me interested in golf, like, while I was not playing it like as competitively as I am now. It kept me really interested because I would love to go out and play with friends out in Monterey and stuff. Yeah, that was the biggest part for me. It kept the game fun, kept it interesting, just kept me attached to it.
Yeah, and also, like, there's only so much you can learn on the range. And again, like, you can only learn these course management and like the competitive mental when you're out on the golf course. And playing every day against my siblings, it was so much fun.
It's awesome. We just had someone say that they have 4 kids in Youth on Course right now, so that's pretty awesome.
And another parent said that they signed up their kids in Texas. So
yeah.
Thanks, you guys, for
awesome.
encouraging people to just literally happen live.
Happening live right now.
Live.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for taking the time, and I know you have school and practice and tournaments and are super busy, but we're all fans of yours, and we're super excited to keep watching you grow and play, and really thankful for you guys taking the time out of your evening. And this is the first of what we hope to be many. We'll have to continue to configure our setup here. It's pretty fun of how we got this phone to stay like this, but that's what happened. So well, thanks you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
All right.